And now live. We are now live. Members to join. Members to join. We start the class. We are starting in the next 5 minutes. We are starting in the next 5 minutes till 11. Till 11. As we wait for the lecturer to join, maybe we can recall what we covered last time. Can we try and recover what we covered last time? You can just comment on the chat. Anything you recall before the strike? comments on the chat. I'm checking. Or someone says, just remember what was a computer hardware, classification of computers. Pointing device. Show me how to sign attendance. Just leave that alone. Computer hardware, computer generation. Generation of computers, application of computers. Dr. Peter, welcome.
This person in government says this other one says this other one says this. Now the culmination is setting a circular.
We are just revising, Doc.
To earn school fees from January. I want to request our leaders.
Watu wanataja topics wananipa pressure. Supu itakulamba. Unajua soup kweli? Umai oja soup.
McDonald, how are you?
Good morning.
Nimeingia bwana. Na sasa sina notes. Unajua nimeshinda ku-log in kwa ile nini system.
Ulibadilisha password?
Nilikuwa naweka inakataa. Sasa sikubadilisha inakataa.
So
tumefika software.
I think we were to do computer software. Yes.
Ni forwardie hiyo mail ndio ni share. Na umeweka kwa online. Is it online?
Yeah, let me.
Have you put them on YouTube?
Yes. They are like on YouTube. They are on YouTube. They are almost now expanded. The number is increasing.
So share the notes from my side. I don't have them. Just share with your software.
I sent you on your email or on your WhatsApp.
Email.
Okay.
Then I start. So.
All right.
I start once you send. I start.
You guys, you need to log into the eLearning and access the content. Next week we might have a cut. So if you have not logged into the eLearning, you'll be struggling with the logging in. Then you'll be also struggling to get the concept. We have a very serious cut that you need to do. Cut 1. And I sent you a guide on what you are supposed to do. Very simple instructions. So you need to log into the eLearning, acquaint yourself with the system, acquaint yourself with the course. Next week, probably, we should have cut 1.
You didn't, Mike, you didn't want to use the Google option?
Google Meet?
No, Google. You remember once upon a time we had the Google one and everybody was able to
just send the Google quiz. The Google quiz, right?
Yes.
No, they will just do it on the eLearning portal.
But you know, it is likely to crash if we
No,
don't have the on timer.
we are optimistic.
Yeah.
We are optimistic. Everything will be all right.
Yeah. Okay, you have sent.
Even the cat, you can set the cat to start as early as 5 in the morning to avoid traffic.
Okay. Have you sent the notes?
I'm just attaching right now. Just attaching them right now. Computer software. This guys needs to have cat one to test the understanding on computer fundamentals. Yeah, check now your email. It should be there. We shall correct some of the settings for those who are seeing some of the cards reads 2024. Shall adjust the dates. So don't worry. Yeah, I see some of you are recording what we covered. OCR, what is OCR? What is MICRE? You're avoiding that. Uliona mtu akitaja optical map reader recognition, magnetic ink. Uliona mtu akitaja vacuum tube. Alafu unajua, just copy. If you fail 50% of your unit, then you need to repeat the year. When you fail 50%. Let us assume you are doing 8 units, then you get soup for 4 units. Inamaanisha utarudia the entire year. Utasoma na watoto wamemaliza form 4 sahi. Amjuangi hizo vitu vile zinafanya. So changamka as early as possible. You get the concept. Then you pass the exam. Mkuu, umepata notes kwa email?
Yanafungua.
Okay. Alafu ujue I gave you a guide on how to reset your password. In case you forget the password for eLearning, you said you go to your student email, and you should know your student email by now. Kama saya ujui student email, you see, you guys, you are in the university. You are competing against students in Strathmore. You are competing against students in Kabarak University. You see, these things you should know them. You should know what's your student email. You should know how to log in. You should know how to send an email. This basic application. That's why we are having this course. We are having this course just to make sure you are computer literate. So kama sasa hiyo juu ya student email, don't know what. Someone told me that with the Jiunge app, then he wanted to register units using Jiunge app. I was wondering, how can we compete with the Kabbalah if we build such a way? How do we compete with students in Strathmore University? Hmm. Yeah, let us compete with other students. Yeah, if you change the course, you come to the office with the letter. We update your profile. As well, you go to the ICT to update your profile so that you can select and register the correct courses. E-learning ikisumbua, our doors are open. Just come. So, as we have said, next week probably we can make it as early as from 5 in the morning to 9 so that we can do something else during lesson hours. Those guys with the negative comments, you know what? Life, life will, life will humble you. Well, achana na hiyo site inasema ati inaandaliwa maintenance. Collins Masika, I gave a guideline yesterday. Check on WhatsApp or ask your class rep. There was a very simple guideline I gave yesterday on how to access the e-learning. Avoid shortcuts and follow that simple instruction. Dr. Peter, Dr. Peter Wawire,
kidogo tu naingia.
okay. Those who are complaining about e-learning imefanyaje, these are guys who will be having issues. These are people who don't accept change. These are people who are technologically challenged. So if someone cannot do or don't know what to do, he keeps on complaining. Yeah? Yeah, Doc, we are seeing now your screen. You can continue. You are muted. 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 The lecturer is reconnecting. The lecturer is reconnecting. Just hold on.
Keep the
Yeah, keep
comments
the
coming.
comments coming. We are just trying to remember what we covered last.
We see some
We see some of you are posting very relevant
comments there.
comments there. That's good.
I cannot find you. I found you.
Yes.
The report is now undergoing final completeness check. That's what I saw in the system.
Okay.
Yes.
Sawa.
Let me say hi to your friend here.
Okay.
You thought I cannot get you. Wananisaidia projekta nikimaliza meeting narudisha. Hata hii laptop yangu nitaacha hapa ndio nisisahau kurudisha.
Projekta nini? Dokta wote na wengine dokta wote.
Na siku close.
Ama acha ningoje kama nikuja. I think ilikuwa
Hapa next. Tunaanza saa 3. So 10 minutes from now.
sawa. Hebu pitia tuone. Doc, we are not
Doc, we
seeing
are
your
not
screen.
seeing your screen. You are presenting, but you can't see your screen. I don't know your network.
Hapo mnaona?
No. Yeah, now it's
Yeah,
there.
now it's there. Now it's
Kindly
there.
continue
Kindly
now.
continue now.
Mbona inasumbua?
Try to zoom.
Try
Try
to
to
zoom.
zoom
Try
a
to
bit.
zoom a bit.
Hmm? Sijui ni nini mbaya. Let me stop and see what to do. What's the challenge today?
You have a problem with your network. That's why it's not picking the
screen.
Now, why is it refusing? This network has always worked. What is this nonsense? Kidogo tu ndo. Kidogo. It's taking long and internet is okay. It's there. What's the problem?
But you can give an introduction as you multitask. Give an introduction as you multitask because now. Yeah.
Kidogo tu, just a minute. You know, should I download the whole thing? Ni yangu inakataa kurespond. Why is it refusing? This network is behaving a bit funny, but let me just give me a few minutes. Ngoja tu kidogo, like 5 minutes. Something I'm doing.
As we wait the lecturer to back
Nakini,
on
can you display on your side? Can you display on side?
From my side, I can,
but now is
let me try.
Just display, and then I move from there. Let me use yours.
No, I'm
engaged somewhere.
I'm
I'm having some other things to work on.
Now this thing is not moving. I don't know. My internet leo, Airtel imeamua kuniua leo. Airtel has decided that, but their network is okay. I can see it's 254 Mbps. Naifani, why?
Because now
for my side, me I can share, but now I'm engaged somewhere again.
Just wait a minute.
See, from my side,
I can share.
So
I'm wondering why it's not picking from your side.
See, these are
the notes.
Ngoja tu kidogo. Let me download. Sasa zisije. Ndio imekuwa ikinisumbua.
Students,
you cannot down these objectives.
Not down these
objects.
take a
screenshot
if you can.
if you can.
kitu.
So by now you should be able to define
what a computer is.
You should be able to
understand
how computers
process information.
Should
be
in a comfortable position
to discuss computer systems,
identify
components.
kidogo tunakutafuta
Nimeshatoa hadithi.
You should be able to identify components
of a computer.
We say the
computer is
split into
three main components.
That is you can just teach, then we will share the notes.
If sharing is an issue.
Ngoja tu kidogo. Sijui mimi hata mimi kitu nasumbua kwa nini uchance tu.
You should be able to identify.
Just give me another few minutes.
Okay, yeah, let us
wait for you.
You should be able to
understand
components and how data is processed. So maybe on your chat, can you define what a computer is? Everyone should now post. Those who are posting irrelevant comments. Can you define what a computer is? And we said when you are defining computer generations, there's some of the context that you need to have a look at. Okay. We say that you need to have a look at the processor. In that generation, what was the processor? What was the input device? What was the output device? How was data stored? So if you are talking about first generation. Okay. You should mention the period when was first generation involved. What was the processor for the first generation? What was the input for the first generation? Which language? Remember, we also mentioned the language. Okay. Which language did that generation use? Is it a low level language? Is it assembly language? Is it a high level language? And by now you should be able to define what is a machine language or what is a low level language. You should be able to define What's a high
level language?
By now,
I assume that.
So when you're mentioning about second
generation,
maybe
what are some of the
advantages
of the second generation
compared
to
first
generation?
These are some
of the key
items that you
need
to
mention.
Okay.
What was the processor for the second generation
compared to
the first generation?
What about
the size?
Because you see,
as the generations
continue
to evolve,
one of the main
characteristics is the size, the reduction of the size of that computer.
The increase
in speed,
the increase in
storage.
Okay.
So
those are some of
the concepts that you need
to have
understood
by now.
by
We also
mentioned about
classifications
of computers,
right?
How can we classify computers?
Can we classify
computer depending on the type of data they process?
That is the
analog, digital, and hybrid.
Can we
classify computers depending on the size?
Can we
classify computers depending on the purpose?
Right?
Yeah.
And we should be able to
define what's a mainframe computer, what is a personal computer,
what is
a supercomputer, and the applications.
I think Doc, we are now seeing
your screen.
Just a minute. Shida leo ni nini? Can you see now my screen?
Yeah, we are
now seeing it.
The basic computer software. I think last time we did hardware. Now we start with the software. So in the previous topic, we learned about computer systems, but emphasis on computer hardware. It's important for us to have an in-depth look at. Marky, did we look at this? I thought we looked at this computer system. I remember we defined these things.
No, I think we should start from that way. We should start from computer software. Although we covered some, but we did not finish.
Most of these software things we covered. Eh?
Yeah, maybe you can just
splash hurriedly then.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have done computer software. So we have an introduction to computer software, operating system, utility software.
Although they are
saying that now it's better for you to maybe repeat that concept, so we pick from there.
In the previous topic, we learned about computer systems, but we put emphasis on the computer hardware. It is now important for us to have an in-depth look at the other side of the computer system. That is the inside of the computer, also known as the inside of the computer, also known as the computer software. This topic introduces you to the programs or procedures that coordinate the computer hardware to enable the user achieve their objectives or perform a task on the computer called the computer software. So the topic has 4 sections: introduction to computer software, software systems, operating system, utility software and device drivers, application software, word processor, database, spreadsheets, and presentation programming languages. Objectives at the end of this particular chapter, the learner should be able to explain the computer software and the classification of computer software, explain system software and the different softwares in the category and the application and importance of computing, explain application software and different softwares in the category, such as general purpose and special purpose software. Then explain ready-made software versus the tailor-made software. So You can that one you will look at it, the first part. So we go to introduction of software. So software is a program commercially prepared and tested in software by one or a group of programmers and system analysts to perform a specified task. Software is simply a set of instructions that cause a computer to perform one or more tasks. The set of instructions is often called a program, or if is the set is particularly large and complex, a system. So computers cannot do any useful work without instructions from the software. Thus, a combination of software and hardware is necessary to do any computerized work. A program must tell the computer each of a set of tasks to perform in a framework of logic, such that computers knows exactly what to do and when to do it. Data are raw facts and ideas that have not been processed, while information is data that has been processed so as to be useful. So the classification of softwares, we have classified softwares into two types. We have two major types. We have system software and we have application software. System software normally entails the operating system. If you have a phone, you have your own operating system. There are those who are running on Android. There are those who are running on iOS for iPhone. There are those who are running on a Microsoft, depending on the phone. So each phone will have its own operating system. For us in computer here, we'll have the operating system, the Windows operating system. We have the Linux operating system. So there are different types of operating system. Then we have application software. The application software, these are softwares that are able to help you achieve tasks. Like for example, word processing, word presentation. Those are just application. They are help you to do work. They are general and we have the special types. And in the system software, we have the operating system and service programs. And we also under them now, under the service programs, we have utility, development, and the program. So it's important that you know. So software can be classified into system software and application software, which is very key. So let's go to system software. This is the first set that consists of programs that control operations of the computer and make sure that the computer works efficiently. They coordinate computer activities and optimize use of computers. They are used to control the computer and develop and run application programs. Examples of job done by the system software. Software is a program or set of instructions that cause the hardware to function in a desired way. There are 4 categories of system software. They are operating system. Operating system is the main in any system that helps you to have an interface between the user and the hardware. The hardware is the machine itself now. Because the computer understands machine language, which is in zeros and ones, and the human beings understand the normal English language, Chinese, or any other. So operating system becomes an interface between the hardware and the user. The user understands his language, he types, the computer interprets and puts it. The operating system helps it so that it's converted into a language that the hardware understands, and then there's action that is taken. So when you type, then you see it translates what you've typed into some visual electronic form. Then you can see. So operating systems are very key because they control most of the work of the computer. Then we have the translators. These ones are used to convert a program from high level language. That is when you have a program in user understood language to machine understood. So we have high level languages like where we use the compilers, we use the interpreters. So we have 2 types of translators where we have compiler and we have a translator. A compiler normally converts the whole program that's written in English like statements into machine language as a whole document. But when you go to an interpreter, it actually converts line by line of what the user has written in what we call a code, program code. What the code you've written, it converts it into machine language line by line. So those are 2 types. Then we have assemblers. Assemblers are normally used with what we call second generation programming languages, where you see the first generation type of programming language was the machine language. where we use zeros and ones. This is the language of the computer. This is the language of the electronics. The second generation, we have what we call assembly language. Here they use mnemonic codes and English-like statements to be able to communicate and write code. So that's where now we come in with assembly, because assembly is used to convert assembly language into machine code. So that's why we have what we call assemblers, and they are usually the second generation. We have the utility programs, which are also very key. So operating systems, there are different types of, generally, operating system acts as an interface between the user and the hardware of a computer. It is the bridge between the user and the hardware. The interface provided by the OS can be character-based or graphical. So there are two types of, we have character user interface, and then we have graphical user interface. Normally what you use right now in your phones is what we call a GUI. That is a graphical user interface. You can be able to touch, click, and do whatever you want. That's a graphical user interface. But character user interface is where just you interact only with by typing and giving it.
Hello, Doc.
Yes.
Hello, Doc.
Yes.
Hello, Doc.
Yes.
Comrades are saying that you go at 60. They are used at 60 kilometers per hour. You are going at 180.
I thought I'm going very slowly. So we have what we call the types of types of operating systems. We have character user interface. Then we have the GUI. GUI is what you are using now, where you are seeing the graphics. That's what we call the GUI, graphical user interface. Then we have character user interface. So normally the character user interface, it's operated with keyboard only, MS-DOS or Unix. So likely when you're using a Linux operating system, Unix operating system, and MS-DOS, here you will use you create a file, you say make directory, and you are able to make when you're using character user interface. But when you are using GUI is where you can see the graphics, you can see where to close. Instead of closing where you type close, you just type at the top. There's a red. We have buttons that can close. A form. When you see a form, you know that at the top when there's an X in a red there, that form, then it means you close. You can minimize. You can do so many things in a form. So GUI can be operated with a mouse and a keyboard. Just now, if you look at your phone, the way you're operating it, actually that's a very good example of a GUI. So operating systems provide a software platform on top of which other programs called application programs can run. The application program must be written to run on top of a particular operating system. So we have the application, we have the operating system, then we have the hardware, then we have the user. Of course, the bridge between the hardware and the user is the operating system. When the operating system collapses, there is no communication, then you have to reinstall the operating system. Then the system platform. So we have what we call the disk operating system. It was developed as an early 1980 by Bill Gates, Microsoft. It is suited for personal computers. DOS, that's what we call DOS. Disk operating system is called DOS. DOS are a single user and a single task operating system. It's a single user and single task. So it can only do one task and it's only used by one user system in Windows. It works with DOS, which is disk operating system, and it supports single user and multi-task system. It requires a powerful PC with a minimum RAM of 8 MB for early Windows 3. So that is what we call. Then we have Unix and Xenex. It is suited for multi-user and multitask systems. Then we have what we call Mac OS. This one is for Macintosh. Macintosh, a product of Apple, has its operating system with GUI and WIMP features. So those are very important. Then we have the Unix and Linux. These are the operating systems that are originally created with command line. So this was how they normally use command line character user interface. So without commands, if you are not familiar with commands, they can be very, very. But with the time, recently they have added the GUI, the graphical user interface, where you can now use GUI. But normally they are very good for those who are experts in computer science. Normally they use Linux and Unix. For you, continue with Windows, continue with Android, continue with Windows, continue with the Android iOS that have GUI. Those are the best for you. And the question that baffles many people is there need for an operating system? To answer that question, let us tackle this section. So the need for an operating system. So the operating system is a suite of programs that takes over the operation of the computer to the extent of being able to allow a number of programs run on the computer without human intervention by an operator. Over many years, the increased processing speeds of the processor and its massive problem solving capability brought about the need for more sophisticated modes of operating computers. Problems encountered on the early generations were setup time. So early generations of there are always issues with the setup time. So it requires, as each job was put onto the machine, and during the time of the computer was completely idle. For example, changing tape, reel or tape units, changing stationery on a printer. So it took a lot of time. It setup time required the time to be changed. Then the setup time required as each job was put onto the machine, and during which the time the computer was completely idle. For example, changing tape, reel or tape units, changing stationery on a printer. So you have setup time, then you have the manual intervention. This was necessary in order to investigate error conditions and to initiate corrective action. Again, the machines were idle when this was done, so human intervention. Then imbalance between processor and peripherals. You can imagine if these things are being done by human, this meant that the central processing unit was lying idle for a long period of time during the operations of peripheral devices. Peripheral devices, these are what, when you say we are talking about peripheral devices, we are talking about input and output devices. So what is required is a supercontroller to ensure that facilities are used to optimal advantage. Optimal means that without wasting the resources, they are used. So it becomes clear that the job could only be undertaken by some form of internal stored program. This became known as the operating system. You know what GUI is? So what is the full abbreviation of GUI? What are the advantages of GUI? So if you know the advantages of GUI, what are the advantages of GUI over character user interface? Because GUI you can see visually and it's user friendly actually compared to the character. That's one of the advantages. Look for more. So armed with the knowledge on how the operating system evolved, let us now discuss the functions of the operating system. Obviously, not all operating systems carry out precisely the same tasks. A single program micro will not need to perform all tasks of a multi-programming, multi-user mainframe computer. The functions listed below apply to a greater or less extent to many computers and will be explained in depth in the subunits. So let's look at it. So the functions, we are on the functions. So we've said the first function. Why is it doing? So the first function is a job and process scheduling, which is very important. All operating systems must have the ability to load programs into the memory and start them running. More complex systems have to allocate CPU time. So themselves, they have to allocate CPU time. Then the other one, CPU time. Where is it? Memory and input output device resources to different processes running concurrently. Function number 2 is communication with the computer user. The OS accepts commands from the operator and responds to them. This is usually via the console or keyboard. Apart from the operator job loading and unloading peripherals, the operator also has a responsibility of dealing with errors missed by operating systems. And in the event of operating system failure, the operator must reestablish it. The operator can key in responses to prompts from the system and also key in commands available in the command language. So that is communication. So like, for example, when it was communicating to me that it's not responding, it has taken long, but those are issues. So the operating system communicates. If there are errors, it communicates. If it's slow, it communicates. So it's important that because the machine will talk through the operating system. Input-output control. So for you to control the input and output devices, of course, you will need the operating system. The peripheral devices, that is the input, and the output devices can be controlled. So if you want to print and you want to see that it's printing, you will go click on the printer, then it is able to print. Then from there you will see that you are moving. So it's very important that, or if you want to type, you type and you can see. So it controls a lot. If you move the mouse, interrupt handling. This is one function of the executive. When an interrupt occurs, control is passed to the executive, which determines the cause of the interrupt and transfers control to the most appropriate error routines. For example, if you get an error and you are running with your phone, and maybe you're overworking it, it will tell you, it will start saying interface not responding. That communication that there's an error. You have even seen on your phone, you see you get an error where it's saying it's not phone, it's not responding, the phone not responding, that your user interface not responding. If you have seen such a message, then it means that the operating system, that is the Android or the iOS, is actually communicating. Then arithmetic or logic. When the arithmetic and logic unit detects that an error has taken place, it generates a signal that causes an interrupt, overflow or underflow, may cause an error signal, or output may be required to an existent device. Control is passed to the executive, which initiates the appropriate routines. Control will be interrupted the program once corrective action has been taken and error messages are printed. Or in the case of a fatal error that cannot be corrected, the program will be suspended permanently. Then we have the hardware malfunction. The input-output control for each device and its associated hardware normally takes care of the parity checking. If parity error is detected, the executive is notified by interrupt and so on. So it means that even if there is a malfunction of hardware, it will tell you that even the printer is not printing. It will tell you this one will communicate. Then external interrupts through the internal interrupts. These are caused by events such as operator pressing an interrupt key in a console, or caused by signals from other processors in a For example, if you press escape, sometimes on the machine, it will cause some interrupts. Then we have provision of error correction routines. Little can be done about errors in jobs that are the results of programming faults. Apart from providing information as to the type of fault, the operating system should be able to handle errors that occur as part of the normal operating activity. However, for example, if data is lost during transfer because of late service of an interrupt, a routine should be available to recover the data by setting up the read process again. Then you have data security and management. This involves the main activities preventing illegal access to user or system files. So dumping the contents of files from time in cause of future loss. Each disk file may be transferred to the tape and then stored offline. So illegal access very important. So I think that when you look at it, then we move to, now let's focus on the operating system, how the operating system operates. So we have the modes of operations of an operating system. OS varies considerably in their capabilities, from relatively simple single-user microcomputer systems to sophisticated mainframe computers. The modes of operation include, so single program operation. The operating system, or OS, supervises the loading and running of one program at a time, and the input and output of data from and to peripheral devices. So data input and output of data from peripheral devices, which we call the input and output devices, will be coordinated by that. So it's just single user, single operation. Then we have what we call the multiprocessing. In large systems, one computer system may have more than one processor, but may still share or some of the same memory. So it can have, a computer may have more than one processor. They have more than one processor. It is doing multiprocessing because it has more than one processor. Then we have what we call multiprogramming. This means that the two or more programs are being run concurrently. The operating system has to allocate resources to each program, allowing each one a small amount of processor time before moving on to the next one. So there are very many different types of multiprogramming system. So multiprogramming system, we have multi-user. When you have a multi-user, there are many different types of multiprogramming. Then we also have what we call multi-user systems. The multi-user OS allows several people to be running programs simultaneously from different workstations. This is also called time-sharing system, with each user in turn being allocated a time scale, so a time slice. So that's what I call a multi-user system. So that even you cannot know, because there are many users. For example, if you're using Google and everybody is Googling, nobody knows who is using it. If you're using ChatGPT and everybody is using it, it's a multi-user system. Everybody is there running. You are Googling something else, someone is Googling something else, but we were all there. So, and you cannot notice that you are sharing. So that is multi-user. Then we have what we call the batch system. Batch. Before we reach the multitask, we have the batch. So where there are a few facilities for a multi-user interactive computing, but nevertheless, several batch jobs may be processed simultaneously in order to optimize the resources. So we have a batch where you put in batches and it processes. So I think we are going to look at it in the next topic. Before we'll have more on that batch processing, so don't worry. Then we have multitasking. Systems could be, for example, a single user, standalone microcomputer running an OS, such as Unix operating system, OS version 2, or Windows 3.3, or Windows NT, or our current Windows 8, Windows 10, which allow programs to be running simultaneously. When the user is applied to mini or mainframe computers, it applies the concurrent execution of two or more related tasks between which communication is possible. Put in a way, multitasking is taking place where a single job is broken down into stages called tasks, which can be simultaneously executed. That's what we call multitasking. The operating system defines the type of processing that a computer system is able to perform, since it controls the allocation and use of the computer resources. There are different types of operating system according to the number of users it can support, the number of tasks it can perform simultaneously, and the user interfaces. So the types of operating system, we have single operating systems. Majority of small microcomputers systems have monitors which allow a single user to operate the machine in interactive conversational mode, but normally only allows one user program to be in main storage and processed at a time. There is no multi-programming of user programs. So there are a number of well-established operating systems that fall into this category. Apart from these operating systems are specific to particular manufacturers, machines. There are some that are available on a wide range of different machines. So we have the control programs for microprocessors by Digital Research and MS-DOS produced by Microsoft. Then we have the single batch systems. These are systems that provide multi-programming of batch programs, but have few facilities for interaction or multi-access. Many commercial computer systems in use during 1960s and early 1970s were of this type. They were using batch. Then we have the multi-access and time sharing. The majority of operating systems fall in this category, but there is a wide range of complexity in such systems. On the large microcomputer and small mini computers, there are a number of operating systems that are available for use on a variety of machines produced by many different manufacturers, including Sans, Sequent, Unisim, PEC, and even IBM. One such system that is gaining popularity is Unix, which was developed by Bell Laboratories in the US. Unix operating system and Linux, they are very used and mostly are used by time sharing. They can allow you a system where you are all, sometimes you also use these systems where you are all students, you want to log in, you are all having your own accounts. That's a multi-access and time sharing. So then we have the real-time systems. The operating system has to cater for the type of real-time being used. The three types are given here in order of increasing fast response time. A more complex multi-access time sharing system where each user has a largely independent choice of system facilities, each using a different language. Commercial real-time systems in which there is essentially one job, such as handling booking, and the multi-access user has clerical rather than programming function. These systems often make use of extensive databases. So process control systems, e.g. a system to control the operation of a chemical factory plant, responses to changes must be fast as possible and reliability is essential. Real-time process control systems vary greatly in size. The big systems, such as the one just mentioned, are at other extreme are embedded real-time control systems used in microprocessor-based instruments and monitoring devices, e.g., the control system in a service station, petrol pump, or in domestic washing machine. Then we have translators. Computers can be understood instructions only when they are written in their own language, the machine language. Therefore, a program written in any other language should be translated into machine language. The software that translates the instruction of different languages is known as translators. There are two types of translators. We have the compiler and interpreter. And I told you that a program written which is called a source code. It actually converts the entire. If you have written a program, it just converts the entire program into machine code. That's the compiler. But an interpreter, we say that it normally translates into machine code line by line. And if there are errors, you will see that it will highlight. So the main difference between compiler and interpreter is error correction is very much simple in the case of interpreter, as it translates the statement in stages. The compiler produces an error list of the entire program at the end. Interpreter takes more time for the execution of the program compared to compilers, as it translates one statement at a time. We have an assembler. I told you assemblers, they convert assembly language source text or source code. Source code, a program when it's written is called source code. So at the end of the day, you have to convert. You use an assembly language. You use an assembler to convert, to translate assembly code into machine code. That's the main part of it. So the assembly normally needs to read 3 texts twice in order to accomplish this task. It is also known as a two-pass assembler. On the first pass, the assembly generates a symbol table which is stored in a random access memory. This table is used to equate each symbolic address with an absolute address. So those are details. I think those who are doing computer will enjoy that. But what I'm saying, the main thing you need to know about assembly language is that it converts assembly code into machine code. That is the most important thing you need to note on that particular one. Then utility programs. Looking at utility programs, you will realize that they are little different from operating system because they are used to manage computer files, diagnose and repair computer programs, and assist in helping the computer to run more efficiently. These are pre-written programs supplied by the manufacturer for maintaining day-to-day activities of computer systems. For example, if you're using copy, you're using sort, you're using mail, VAR, or scanning software, there are various examples of these programs. So we have, and we are discussing them here. We have the editor. So we have the editors. An editor allows the user to create text files in a form which they may be easily modified. Editors are available in 2 forms: the simple line editors and the full screen editors. So the difference is the one with simple line editors, which only permits operations on a single line of text at a time. And we have the full screen editors, which permit full cursor control over the whole screen. So these are the 2 types of editors: line editors and screen editors. Then we have the linkers and loaders. These are the new set of software that are used to develop computer programs in modules or subroutines. After compilation, a program usually needs to be linked with the necessary input and output or mathematical routines contained in a runtime library. So this routine is then simply added to the machine code. This process is achieved with the aid of a linker. So a linker is very important. It links. Very important. It links. That's why it's very important. So during compilation and assembly, symbolic labels are normally used to represent address. Programs can thus be made locatable. The final stage in the process involves replacing all symbolic addresses with the absolute addresses to be used for the final execution. This is achieved with the aid of a loader. A loader is what achieves that. Then we have debuggers. Debuggers provide a means of testing programs interactively during runtime. Common features include displaying the content of a given block of memory in hexadecimal, filling a given block of memory with a given data value, commencing execution with optional break points, performing hexadecimal arithmetic, setting up a file control block and command tail, disassembling a block of memory, moving a block from one location to another, reading a disk file in a memory, tracing a single-step program execution, showing memory layout of a disk file reel, writing the contents of a given block of memory to a disk, examining and modifying the CPU. So as we look at the other softwares, it is important to remember that there can be software that is written to solve a specific program. Such software is called application software. So now we have done what we call system software. Now we have come to application software. And application software are programs for user to do their jobs: typing, recording, record keeping, production of financial statement, drawing, and statistics. These programs are grouped into two. We have the general ready software, and then we have what we call the ones that now you buy, what we call the custom or bespoke. So let's look at first. Let's start with let me start with what we call the general purpose. So these are developed to perform a variety of tasks, usually determined by the use. Such softwares can be customized by user to achieve specific goals, e.g. MS Office, which is a suite of programs performing a variety of tasks, e.g. word processing for producing documents, database for storing, retrieval and manipulating data, and various calculations. On spreadsheets, general purpose programs are classified below. So we have the word processing applications, written data previously done on typewriters with considerable effort can now be easily completed with word processing. So word processing, and if you want to type and you print, you use the word processing packages, MS Word and the WordPad. You can use even the Notepad, you can use them to type. But the MS Word, Microsoft Word is the most common. Even your phone, you can be able to install Microsoft Word. These days we have Microsoft 365. Normally on your phone, sometimes you get the Microsoft 365, which is very good and can be used. And that's what you use even when you want to type very serious things on your phone. This one is available when you go on your apps. What you call the apps that you get, the ones that you download, these are some of them are what we call application programs. The ones that you get on your apps and you download and then you use them, those are application programs. Normally when you go to your Google Store and you download them, those are applications. Then you have the spreadsheets. Spreadsheets software permits performance of an endless variety of quantitative tasks such as budgeting, keeping track of inventory, preparing financial reports, or manipulating numbers in any fashion, such as averaging each of the 10 departmental monthly sales over a 6-month period. A spreadsheet contains cells, the intersection of rows and columns. Cells and that intersection of rows and column brings something called a cell, where you can type, you can do the adding, you can do the so many things. So each cell contains a value keyed in by the user. Cells contain formulas with many capabilities, such as adding, multiplying, dividing, subtracting, averaging, or even counting. So spreadsheet. So we have Microsoft Excel, which is the most common and is used. And we have also Lotus 1, 2, 3. Then we have a database. So we have different types of database. We have Microsoft Access, we have DBase, we have Oracle. Very important. We have MySQL database, which is also very important. So a database contains a list of information items that are similar in form, art, and or nature. An example is a phone book that lists a name, address, and phone number for each entry. Once stored in a database, information can be retrieved in several ways. For example, you have your phone book and you have to store it in a database in your phone, so that at the end of the day, you can retrieve and see the names that are stored on your internal memory. And this is just a good example of... Then we have presentation software. If you want to do now presentation, things like Microsoft PowerPoint, they are used for presentation, producing very nice visual graphics. Very important for marketing, presentation. They are very key. So presentation software, it forms a king slideshow. This software allows users to create visual presentation. A speaker may use presentation software to organize a slide for an audience. Text, graphics, sound, and movies can easily be included in the presentation. So you can have many things. You can put a video, you can put... So these are very important. Very important. Then we have what we call desktop publishing. Is another very important one. This software permits the user to prepare documents by using both word processing devices and graphics. So if you want to create graphics, you need what we call desktop publisher, Microsoft Publisher, or we have also things like PageMaker, CorelDRAW. These are application softwares you download and you can use them. We call PageMaker, CorelDRAW, and MS Publisher. Most of the people who are doing work in town, they use PageMaker and CorelDRAW to at least make graphics, make designs, and MS Publisher. So these are very key. So if you want to publish something and put in graphics and words, then you use the word publishing software, which is very, very key. Nowadays, most of the general purpose software is being sold as a complete software suite, such as Microsoft Office, Lotus Smart Suite. These suites offer 4 or more software products packaged together at a more lower price than buying the packages separately. So then we have the custom or bespoke software packages. These are specialized software that are made for a specific customer specification. Rather like bespoke tailoring, bespoke software is a software that is tailor-made for the client. It's an exact fit with the client's requirements, eliminating many of the compromises that are built in off-the-shelf software. So the softwares can be developed to do exactly what the client requires. No need to accept the compromises of the off-shelf software application. So bespoke software can be based on your current working methods, thereby using terminology your staffs are already familiar with, thereby reducing training times. They are developed for given purpose, payroll system, stock control systems. Like for example, in Kibabii, we have our ERP that you are able to log in, where you can see your school fees, you can see your balances. That one is customized specifically for Kibabii University. You go to another university, you'll get a customized software that has been made for a certain university. So that's what we call customized. The developed software solutions should validate user input, thereby ensuring that the data in your system is as accurate as possible and is able to produce reliable, trusted output. Bespoke software is adaptable. As your business evolves, so can the software build on your original investment rather than starting over scratch. This means you can start by developing a bespoke software application that covers one area of your business and expands this later to cover other areas. Often, there are off-the-shelf software solutions that achieve many of the requirements of individual companies. However, there will normally be areas of operation that require the company to work differently, tailoring their business to the software available rather than tailoring the software to their real business requirements. Sometimes a good compromise can be achieved where bespoke solutions is used to glue together different off-the-shelf applications. However, this is never the same as having a fully bespoke software solution developed for the ground up. For example, we have these general application softwares like the desktop, the presentation packages, the word processing. Those are most of general. But these off the shelf that are customized, that are developed by programmers, To be specific, like the ERP that is managing most of our entire operations in Kibabii, those are customized towards Kibabii. They are only, so you can just develop a program that is specific to a given task for a company. So those are what we call the bespoke software. Then we have the office-based application. The bespoke office-based application could run on PCs powered by Microsoft operating systems such as Windows XP, Windows Vista, Windows 7, Windows 8, Windows 10. So Windows 10, actually, we have currently Windows 10. Web-based and even 8 is there. So web-based applications can be accessed by different types of computers such as Apple computers, tablet devices, smartphone. The office-based applications can be developed using many programming languages and technologies. The database applications are usually based on Microsoft Access. These applications are developed as information system so that you, as the end user, do not have to deal with any of the day-to-day operation of the underlying Access database. Clear user interfaces are developed that offer basic functionalities. Now, let us look at the programming languages. Now, the assignment I want you to do on your own, write down, and I want you to do, we have talked about generation of computers. Now, I want you to look at what we call, there's a difference between generation of computers and generation of programming languages. Kindly look at the generations of programming languages, from first generation programming languages to fifth generation programming languages. Sometimes we occur, I've always had people, most of the students normally attach themselves with the first generation to fifth generation computers. But when it comes to first generation programming languages to fifth generation programming languages, it's also a challenge. So know that there are different types of programming languages. And we have generations of programming languages. At the top, first generation, we have the machine language, which is the mother of programming. It has zeros and ones. Things are understood in binary. I know we are going to deal with binary calculations towards the end of this course. I think it will be the last topic. So zeros and ones, we are going to do a lot of hexadecimal binary calculations, because this is where now the machine language is. And usually, normally, this is the first generation. The second generation is where we call the assembly languages, the ones that use many codes rather than numerics. So they use words like add, but they are combined mnemonic codes and binary. That is assembly. Those are normally the second generation. My assignment is look at first generation to fifth generation programming language. Evolution of programming languages is different from evolution of computers. Computers also came into play. But right now, we have what we call evolution of programming languages. Programming languages are very important because they are used to develop programs that can now be able to come up with the bespoke or customized software. We use programming languages. And these programming languages are different. But I've said there's the evolution of programming languages. But the main, you can categorize languages into three types. We have the machine languages, assembly languages, and high-level languages. Machine languages, they use zeros and ones. They use the binary codes. They are only understood by the machine. They are normally machine dependent, meaning that if you write a program in one machine and you transfer it to another, it will not work because you must again start reprogramming to the other machine. So they have that disadvantage. They were not portable from one machine to another. So this gave rise to what we call assembly language. Assembly language uses, because it was not very user-friendly, it was just using codes of zeros and ones, they came up with now English like words, like statements, like add, subtract. If you can add, subtract, yeah, very important. So those are, they added in English words. Store, add, sub means subtract. So they brought in English like words, but still this programming language was machine dependent. It was even very difficult to get errors, but it was easier compared to machine language. Machine language was the most difficult in terms of error. The first programming languages were very difficult to locate an error. So then it forced us now to come up with what we call, now the third type, which we call high-level languages. So the high-level languages, these are referred to as problem-oriented languages. They are also called third generation. The advantage of these languages are that the high-level languages are convenient for writing programs, as they can be written without any codes. So the beauty with now high-level languages, they are written in English like statements, the English statement that follow certain rules. Now, these English statements are easily recognized by so it was more user-friendly. The beauty with these high-level languages, they are user-friendly. They can be understood by the user easily as compared to first and second generation. So the high-level languages are very important. The other thing you also have to note that assembly language and machine language are what we call the low-level languages. In another category, they are called the low-level language. Assembly and machine languages are normally called the low-level. Then the high-level, these ones that can be understood by the human beings directly and be read directly, are called high-level languages. They were user-friendly. They were not machine-dependent. They were machine-independent. Yeah, meaning that you can transfer a program from one to another without changing, and it runs. But the low-level language, that's machine and assembly, they were machine-dependent. If you are transferring, you rewrite the whole code again on a machine. Otherwise, it won't work. So that was the difference. So the common high-level language, we have Fortran, formula translation language. Then we have the C++, COBOL, common business-oriented language, BASIC, beginners all-purpose symbolic language code. We have Prolog, programming logic, Algo. All these are what we call first generation. So we have actually finished these, and we are finishing. So we have very simple questions for you. Here you look at these questions, because once you get these questions, then you are doing well. So which of the following is not a general purpose programming language? So you look at that. I'm not going to do that assignment. You will do that. You check your assignment online and do them. I think some of these questions are online. Do them as assignments. I've finished MacD. MacD. McDonald. McDonald. I've finished that particular topic.
That's not. I like the speed. The speed has been so good. I think students have enjoyed.
Sangapi?
Yes.
Inaisha sangapi class?
Inaisha saa tano. We have 1 extra hour.
Can you send me the other notes so that again we continue?
Wonderful. Let them. Okay, that's good. We finish early. Better. Let me share with you another notes again,
so that we remain with only topic 5 and 6.
All right.
I want us to finish so that we remain with topic, so that they'll do cut up to 4. Our cut will run from topic 1 to 4
okay.
For the notes. But if you go there, it's almost week what? I don't know. If we check on the other system, I don't know it's week what. I think you need to tell them the week.
So I was even thinking if they can do the cut very early in the morning, then we start our lesson from 9. What's your take?
Next week.
We give them, next week, or we give them the entire lesson to do a cut.
Let them just do the entire lesson. What are going excuses?
Okay.
I was sleeping. They start from 7.
Yeah. Okay.
That's next week.
Also the entire. Okay, so the entire of next week they should just do the cut.
Okay.
So I give you topic 5, data processing.
Yes, that's a short one. I think it's a short. We can finish now.
Okay. Let me look for the notes. I shared through the email again.
Yes.
Yeah, I see it's short, just 10 minutes. It's just 10 pages.
Yeah, that one you can
And for
finish.
the students who are asking these notes are on the e-learning. I don't know how lazy they are. They're asking for these notes.
We said we're not going to share notes. You go online and download yourself. If you can't, you'll find trouble. Mark, did you show them how to download?
Yes. Or I will show them at the end. Let me repeat again at the end of this. When you are done with this, I will show them again and again and again.
Those are users, but
Yeah.
supporting users is very difficult.
I will share with them again and again and again.
Because support user is not easy.
I will show them how to. I will show them how to enroll. I show them how to to do the cut. I'll show them how to download the notes so that Mutu Kikimuramba at the end an excuse.
Kimurambe tu.
Wedi anasema ati nadanganya ati sikuwaonyesha. Sawa, tawashoi maneno basi. The cut is online. Online.
Now, if you miss, kindly don't look for me. Waambie tena hiyo kidogo hujasikia?
Yeah. When they fail, students, when you fail for this when you fail this course, let us meet next year, same place, same time.
The year will only be different. We'll meet next year
So
almost
if,
same month.
na jana niliwapea guidance ya ku get into the e-learning. So hawa ndo nasema ati sijui e-learning is under maintenance. You are not following instructions. You are not following instructions that I gave yesterday. Check on WhatsApp. I shared yesterday a guide on how to access the e-learning. Very simple. Sasa kama hata hiyo guide kuifuata imekushinda, surely how will we be able to manage?
Or Mark,
So, I have shared, kindly check on your email.
Mark D, ama tufanya na Google?
Yes.
Is Google form easier or
No, they'll
which one is
just do
easier?
on
You know,
the
some of them
e-learning.
will
They'll
have to.
just do on the e-learning. They'll just do on the e-learning. There's something I want to test.
Can you send Mark D? Can you create a what we call like test run kuona wangapi wanaweza kuwa wana login?
Oh, so I give them a pre-test, right?
I finish this, then you do some pre-test so that everybody can log in and we see.
Okay, so let me set a pre-test cut just now.
Just like 2 or 3 questions, but not as many.
All right, let me just, members, after this lesson, before 11, you are just going to have like 2 or 3 questions, just a pre-test, so that those who have not logged in, wakamatie hapo. I have shared the notes on your email, you can check. For those who are asking attendance, check under lesson 1. Check under lesson 1, there is attendance sheet just before lesson 1. Just before lesson 1, there's a attendance sheet you need to sign every Monday. So for those who are not enrolled, kuna kati nafungua tu sahi to test something. So you are taking the bull by its horns. Attendance equal to just above lesson 1, there's attendance sheet. So Doc, you can continue.
I'm waiting for some loading. I don't know why it's taking again another year. Kidogo tu acha nifungue.
We have members who changed the course. They have not come. We update with the new registration number. Members who have not logged in and enrolled the course, Meskia, there's a card that they're just going to open for you to test.
Why don't you come up with a banner?
Yes.
Like an advertisement, then share across.
Which banner?
That is showing that there's a cut, a big, like an advert, like a small advert.
Okay, let me work on it.
So we are going to look at data processing. So having learned about what a computer software is, as well as its classification, it's now important for us to have a glimpse of how a computer carries out processing. So this topic, introduces you to data processing modes. The way data is collected and processed depends on the processing mode it is subject to. This chapter will examine batch, online, real-time, distributed, offline, time sharing, multitask data processing. The topic has 7 sections. Namely batch, online, real-time, distributed, offline, time sharing, multitasking. I think these are the things we mentioned there. Now we are going them into details. So by the end of this topic, they should be able to define. By the end of this topic, the learner should be able to define the data processing, discuss the various data processing modes. So data processing modes. The status of information must be updated continuously to reflect business activities. In a business, people write checks, customers buy on credit, raw materials get requisitioned from an inventory. In all these cases, it's necessary to update the status of information on computer files. There are various methods of Manskia. Am I audible? Hello?
Yeah, yes, we are getting you. We are getting you.
There are various methods of transaction processing for updating the information status, but whichever method is chosen has to be cost-effective and most efficient. The way data is collected and processed depends on the processing mode it is subject to. So this chapter will examine batch, online, real-time, distributed, offline sharing, time multitasking, and distributed data processing. But before we talk about each data processing mode, we look at the data processing cycle. So in the data processing cycle, we have data collection, then we have the data collection, input, processing, then output. It's important to know that processing, data collection, input, processing, and output. Data processing cycle refers to the sequence of activities involved in data transformation from its raw form to get information. So data is and process is actually raw fact, but information is processed data. That's what you need to really know. It should be very. Mark, do you have allowed them to be noisy? Mark Donald.
Yes.
Kindly mute. Mute.
Okay,
There's noise
sorry.
behind. Batch processing is a technique in which items are collected, grouped, and processed together to permit convenient and efficient processing. The collection of data is done over time. That is monthly, weekly, daily. This approach of data processing is commonly used in updating payroll and invoices. I think we talked about batch. So the technique, I can repeat, this is the technique in which items are collected, grouped, and processed together to permit convenient and efficient processing. The collection of data is done over time. That's what you need to know. So the advantages, the unit cost of processing is low. It does not require special hardware and software. Has enhanced system security because anytime updates occur, new files are created, simple to develop and maintain. So you can see, you can see user 1, user 2, user 3, then the computer system. So user queue, that's the user queue, that's the batch processing. Then we have the disadvantage, random inquiries cannot be made to the system. Errors are reported late because sometimes it's taken before processing. Provides information that is always out of date at processing. Always produces either unwanted information or not enough information. And then we have what we call the time sharing system. This technique for making available data. The technique for making available the service of a single computer to multiple users simultaneously. It provides a rapid response to each of the users. So you can see there, this is single. We have several users, and we have a computer system. That is what we call a time sharing. We have a single user, but everybody has his time. So that's what we call time sharing. From the above definition, time sharing involves the use of a single computer system, many different independent users. Each users operate independently without awareness of the use of facilities by others. Each user having his own programs. Each user expects fast response. The user files are maintained at the processing center, the central computer. Time sharing is popular in universities, but limited to commercial use. So this is time sharing. It's there. You can see that. Then we go to the next. So let us look at the advantages. Advantages: reduces the CPU idle time, provides several high-level languages for programming. Costs are spread to many users. Provides direct access to a computer file, which is always held online. supports many users. Information output is fast. Disadvantages: requires large storage capacity. It's expensive to install. Requires a powerful computer and a powerful operation system. Controlling such a system is difficult because the passwords can be stolen. Then desirable features of time: response time needs to be very high. Users are not even supposed to imagine that they are waiting to be served. Will have good input and output devices. There must be a well-defined method of changing the users for the CPU time used. Charging, method of charging the users for the CPU time used. Then control must be exercised to ensure that users are protected against file destruction and unauthorized use. The next one is what we call multitasking or multiprogramming. From the above more discussed we move to multitasking. This is the technique of having the computer handle several programs or tasks concurrently. The program resides in different sections of the memory, and the operating system switches control from one to the other. Programs are queued and are held in a storage media. The programs are then called on priority basis. Real-time programs are given first preference to batch processes. Otherwise, once the program is completed, the next one in a queue is loaded by operating system. Advantages: supports many users, provides direct access to the CPU, reduces the CPU idle time. Advantages: requires a powerful CPU with very high speed, requires input-output facilities which operate without constant supervision by the CPU, requires powerful operating system. The overall time taken to process information is long. So that's a. Then we have what we call the online processing system. Another one is online processing. This is a system in which input data is communicated directly to the CPU. The output information is transmitted directly to the user. The data transmission system consists of a remote point where data is captured and presents a device that takes from remote point and passes it to the computer and subsequently transmits information from the computer to a remote point after processing is done. Offline processing system. This is a system which is not under the control of the CPU. Offline requirements such as key punch machines, key entry devices, or for business, for busters, have no direct hookup with the CPU. We have distributed data processing, multiprocessing. This is a method where two or more computers are linked together for various users for the same organization. The computers are usually located in various regions, departments, and sections of an organization. The computer systems are physically remote, and access to each machine is capable of carrying out local processing for its department, section, or region of the organization. It's also nice to look at the advantages and disadvantages. Benefits of DTP: it encourages effective decision making since all the required information can easily be made available locally. System failure: if one element of a system fails, process data in the department is not affected. As enhanced security, most of the sensitive operations are done locally. Errors can easily be corrected. Low cost, better reliability. Advantages: requires the user get involved in the system, hence the users have to be trained. There are programming problems with micro and mini computers for schools. Kenya standard is difficult to maintain and monitor. It encourages data manipulation. Sorry, fast. Sorry. Move slowly. Let us start from benefits. It encourages effective decision making since all the required information can easily be made available locally. The other thing is system failure. If one element of the system fails, process data in the department is not affected. That's the good, another benefit. As enhanced security, most of the sensitive operations are done locally. Error can easily be corrected. Lower costs, better reliability. Requires that the user gets involved in the system and the users have to be trained. There are programming problems with micro and mini computers for schools. It's difficult to maintain and monitor. It encourages data duplication. Requires costs for computer equipment. Centralized and decentralized processing. This is the way an organization chooses to process its data. In decentralized processing, therefore, each division or section has operating responsibility with the data processing. Each division implements system designed for them. They don't design their own systems. So the main factors to consider when selecting the data processing mode: the response time taken before a desirable response is obtained, the initial cost cost of initial installation and operation, type of processing system anticipated, whether time driven or event driven, ease of development. Designers like analysts always opt for systems easier. Ease of development. Designers / analysts always opt for systems easier to develop as they most cheaply to maintain. So in this topic, you have learned that there are various data processing modes. We have examined batch, online, real-time, distributed, offline, time sharing, and multitasking data processing. In this topic, we shall, in the next topic, that's topic 5, we shall discuss data communication. This is the transfer of data from one point to another using electronic means. We will also look at networks and the network topologies. But before we move that topic, the self-fact check, self-help check. Define what data representation is. Then briefly discuss the various data processing modes. So that is what you can do. If you know that the learners are there, you can check those questions. Can I define data processing? Can I discuss the various modes of data processing? So if you can do that, then we are okay. McDonald. Mark D.
Yes.
Tumemaliza hiyo. Now you can do a pre-run with them.
Oh, so.
Eh?
Yeah. Okay, let me just share my screen. Let me just share my screen. Let me share the entire screen.
McDonald?
Yeah, I'm just waiting for.
I'm stepping out.
Yes.
I'm leaving.
Okay, it's okay. It's okay. So we start by first going to Kibabii University website for those who are lost. So we said you open a browser, and a browser that is we prefer Microsoft Google Chrome. Then you type the URL. As a university student, you should know what an URL is. So that's kibu.ac.ke. That URL will land you to Kibabii University website, and that is it. So once you have landed into Kibabii University website, we said, what did we say? We said that you click on this. Let me just change my pointer. Just change my pointer. Let me just change my pointer. Which pointer is good? I think this one's better. So once you are on the Kibabii University website, you click on this button. This button, when you click on it, it expands. Okay, it expands. Once it expands, let me log out. Let me log out somewhere first. All right. Then you click on the eLearning portal. Okay. Your member attendance achana nayo, have suspended that activity. I have suspended that activity of attendance until further notice. So so by now you should know where the university website is, and you can see what's going on the website. Like we have a rehearsal for graduation on Thursday. We have many activities that goes to the university website. And we are competing against other universities when it comes to technology. So once you are on the Kibabii University website, this is the target button, this one. Click on eLearning portal. It opens. Then you log in. You enter your reg number, don't know, in small letters. Let me zoom a bit. Then you enter the password. The password is the same as reg number in small letters, unless you changed, right? If you forgot, let us assume I forgot the password. Okay. Let us assume I forgot. So if I enter a wrong password, what does the system say? Say invalid. Please try again. So just 5 minutes. Just 5 minutes. Okay. So I have forgotten my password. Okay. I've forgotten my password. So I click on lost password. As easy as that, then I search by, I said you search by the reg number. Okay. I click on search. When I have supplied the right reg number, I said you go now to your Gmail. You go to your Gmail account. Let me go to my Gmail. So I need to access my student email. Don't know which emails are associated with that account. Let me just assume it's McDonald. Okay. is associated with that. So I'm logging to my student email, right? The password comp. Let me try and log in. I change this password. Let me try again. So I'm just showing you how to, if you have forgotten your password, okay? This is a simple way you can reset your e-learning portal password. So you don't need to be coming to the office. Okay, you don't need to be coming to the office. Okay, you don't need to be coming to the office. Okay. Let me just check. Continue. No thanks. Continue. Yeah, I've logged in, I think. And here it is. The system has sent me the link to reset the password. So once you have a student email, resetting a password on the e-learning portal is very simple. So I will have to click on this link, and then the system will prompt me now to change the password. Let me change the password. As just as simple as that. So forgetting a password, let it not be an issue, and have been able to change the password. So let us assume I want to unenroll into this. Let me just unenroll to one course. Let me enroll this one course. Okay, so once I have logged into the e-learning, I'm going to enroll. So once I have enrolled, it will tell me welcome. It will give this an image that is surely displayed. Okay, welcome, blah, blah, blah. So it means once I have logged in, I'll go and click on this button, then click home. Then I want to enroll into a course, KUC 1120. I don't know if it's still there. Let me check. Let me remove myself to this course first. So I click on this home button. I search by the course code. I search by the course code, okay? I click on search. And here comes the course that I want to enroll. I click on this course. It asks me to enter the enrollment key. So I click on enroll me. Then I enter the enrollment key, which is KUC 1120 SEP 2025. I click on enroll me. And here it is, say you have enrolled this course, and here I can access the content. Yeah, even the system saying congratulations. See? The system is congratulating me. So I go through the topic 1. That's topic 1, introduction to computers. For those who are asking for notes, here is this PDF. I click on it. It opens or it downloads. I can download this one. I go again to topic 3, topic 2. I look for that. Even we have the videos, my friend. So if you are bored with the PDF, you can play the video. This video is talking about Mekri, Okri, and Ash. I can watch them and make some summary how a computer works. I go to topic 3 again. The same concept applies. Type of device, printers. I just click on these links. Something will happen. We have some pre-recorded lessons. You can play them as videos. Topic 4, the same. computer software. The notes, where are the notes for this? Here it is that we have just gone. I click on it, and this is what the lecturer has taught us today. Go back again. Then, yeah, you just move. That's how you navigate. Then you have this card. Now this card that you need to do, my friends. My card self-test more is just above topic 5. Night self-test. In test to taking the bull by its horn. I want you guys to enroll the course. I click on self-test. The card opens. And let me do this card so that you can also do it. Mona pale nimeipata. Hii kati imekuwa wapi? Just above topic 5. Yeah, just above topic 5. Self-test mock. Imefunguka saa 4:30. So you should have done it by saa 7:30. I click on it. Let me attempt. Are you sure? Yeah. And here it is. Type in your answer. Program instructions execution are the primary functions of which part of the CPU works as program instruction execution. You type in, my friend, okay? Type in, you go next. Another question comes. Dash is responsible for temporarily holding data and instructions that are being used. You type in again, okay? Next. Evolution of computers is divided into 10 generations. I don't know if this is true or false. Maybe it's true. I don't know. I go next. Due to recent advances in high-speed communication networks, the information lag or the time takes for information to be disseminated around the world has been significantly shortened. Don't know if it's true or false. I click next. The second generation of computers did it use integrated circuit? Did it use vacuum tubes? Did it use transistors or capacitors? Okay, you select. Okay, usinicopy. You copy me, we fail together. Yeah, that is it. I have done the cut, I have finished. Then I click on submit and finish. Once I click on that, all my answers. Na inaniambia nimepata 1 out of 5. You see, it is even giving me the feedback, immediate feedback. Nimechapa 1 out of 5. Hii ni supplementary sasa. Aya, members, kazi kwenyu. The cat is open, test it. It's just a mock. It doesn't even carry any weight. So let me call it a lesson. Mambo ya attendance tumesema achana nayo. Mambo ya email enda ICT. Ama enda ICT wa kuresetia email. You can just survive by resetting the password from the email. We have a lot to do. Resetting your password might not be maybe something that will bother us now. So next week shall give you a comprehensive one. Have a nice day. You disappear, guys.